Hello, everyone. Yes, you can answer me back. I said, hello, everyone. Thank you. I'm Professor Irving from the DHEE. That's a new department here at Williams College. We academics love our acronyms. Is it anyone's first time here at Williams College? Welcome. I'm so glad you're here today. When I work with students, I talk to them about my profound belief in the power of witness. The simple version is this: things we're told live in a different part of our brain from things we witness. The purpose of this exercise tonight is witnessing. That's all you need to do. Simple enough, yeah? You're going to see a moment in time and place. This place. Witnessing can be a messy prospect. When you look closely enough at anything, you see many contradictions. But it is the accumulation of contradictions that adds up to the truth. Now, it would be tempting to call what we're about to do time travel, but the truth is we will be bringing time forward to meet you, not taking you back in time. And we're going to do that using a new technology called RAVE, or Recollection of Audio-Visual Ephemera. It's what we forced you all to download onto your smartphones. Now, everyone should be able to hear my voice right now, and the words you're hearing should match the shapes my mouth is making. If anyone's sync is off, or if you are ever having trouble hearing me or anyone during our demonstration, just raise your hand, and one of my associates, they're the ominous-looking ones in the lab coats, will assist you. Thanks to RAVE, my voice is able to pipe right into your ears. I'm even able to stop moving my mouth, and you can still hear me. Isn't this groovy? It's like a high-tech sort of telepathy. And you can never know if I'm talking to all of you or just you. Yes, you. It's good to see you. RAVE is also able to broadcast images to you. Just have a look down at your devices. Go ahead. Look down. I am currently standing on the steps of Chapin Hall. The wealthy lawyer Alfred C. Chapin, class of 1869, lost his wife and wanted a memorial built in her honor. These columns were carved from a single piece of Indiana limestone 27.5 feet long. The hall was originally named Grace Hall for Chapin's dear departed wife, Grace. However, some years later, he remarried, and the building was renamed Chapin Hall. That second, Mrs. Chapin, was formidable. Here you can see what it looked like when it was first built. And here we see students inside Chapin in the year 1969.
Valued and welcomed.
1969.
All of our students.
A time of unrest.
Freedom of thought,
a time
a
of
exchange of ideas,
hope. A time
an appreciation of varying perspectives or fundamental
change,
characteristics of a
perhaps.
Williams student.
Keep
You came to
your
Williams
eyes
because you had the hope,
open.
the prayer of something
Just
better
remember,
for yourself,
seeing
for your
is
family.
believing, and
We do not take
beliefs
that lightly.
are what shape our realities.
A year has passed since the death of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. shocked this country and this campus. A man of peace whose life was cut short with violence. The tragic unrest of 1968 has highlighted the unfinished work our country must do to more successfully achieve equity, justice, and inclusivity. Following that tragedy, the Williams Afro-American Society held an impressive and useful meeting in Jessup Hall addressing the problems of racism in the United States. A student-led event of this sort is normally not done, but we felt that the need was sufficiently great in the case of the Afro-American Society that we would break this precedent and provide that space. We aspire to be a community where all members thrive, where they can access the wide range of learning and growth opportunities the college offers, where they are heard and respected. These aspirations are based upon an understanding that in higher education, diversity, equity, and inclusion are inextricably linked to excellence. As our society continues to diversify and our world to globalize, we must prepare a diverse cadre of students for global citizenship and produce knowledge that is relevant to the issues of today and tomorrow. What a great time to be an American, and what a great time to be at Williams. Thank you, and God bless.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the
75 feet. That's looking good. Down a half. 6 forward. 60 seconds. 60 seconds. Lights on. Down 2.5. 4.
Hey, Group 1. Turn around. Okay, just making sure everyone here is in Group 1. If you're not in Group 1, this is going to be a gnarly time for you. Show me with your fingers. What group? Good. If you ever lose signal or get kicked off rave, just rescan the QR code on one of your neighbors and it should log you right back in. If you have an emergency and need to exit the experience, you can just head back here to the flagpole and one of my colleagues will assist you. If your emergency renders you unable to do that, just type in the word HELP into the chat on your rave and one of my colleagues will come to your aid. Okay, I think that's all the rules. Activating rave.
Hi everyone, my name is Christopher West and I'm a current Williams student, class of 1972. Eves! I'm a physics major, I grew up in Cleveland, and outside of class, some of my interests are astronomy and, well, giving a great campus tour. Now, I know that everyone's thinking the same thing, so let me just reassure you, we will be done in time to watch the moon landing. My parents have been talking about nothing else for the past few months. Can you believe it? Somebody is about to actually just walk on the moon. As I said, that whole thing is my bag, so this feels particularly major to me. Pardon the pun. Although I've also met some folks in the last tour who are going to the movies tonight, but I'm gonna assume that at least some of you are raring to get out of here and watch whatever is gonna happen up there. So let's just get right into this tour and you can ask any questions at the end. Moms and dads, do we have any Williams alums here today? Then an E for two? Well, welcome. For those of you who've never been here before, Williams College was founded in 1791 when Ephraim Williams left $9,297 to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to start a free school to educate the sons of farmers. He had 3 stipulations. 1, that the school had to be named after him. 2, that the town had to be named after him. And 3, that the school had to be located in Massachusetts. At that time, there was only one other institution of higher learning in the state, located in Cambridge, hint, hint, and they sued us, arguing that there weren't enough students to support 2 schools in the state. Williams won the lawsuit and received its charter. Harvard bounced back. You may have heard of them. Isn't this such a beautiful campus? In the fall, when the trees start to change colors, it just is so beautiful. And in the summer, all the trees are in bloom. It truly is spectacular. There are so many fun things to do around Williamstown. Whether it's having picnics with your friends in front of Chapin Hall, or going down to the watering hole and then cooling off, there's always something to keep you busy. Please try and keep up. I've been told I'm a pretty fast walker. Sorry about that. But I've never lost anyone, and I don't plan on starting today. Man, wouldn't it be far out if one day in the future we all had, like, some little radio locating device thing that we could carry around with us? Like, in a suitcase, or a bowling ball bag, or something. I don't know. Just imagine. No one would feel lost or alone, because you could always reach or be reached. Being connected. I'm sure there'd be world peace. Yeah. Or maybe like a telephone with a really long cord. Although, now that I think about it, all those cords everywhere, I for one would probably trip all over mine. Yeah. But maybe there's something magical about getting lost and discovering something you never knew existed. That could be fun. Sorry, I get distracted. Now, moms and dads, you might be asking if there's been any sort of climate of unrest here on campus with so much of what's been happening, and I just want to say, something that makes Williams such a special place to me is that this past spring we had a whole situation here on campus that... Do you hear something?
Are you coming or not?
I don't know.
Frosh, Quad, Maddie, you don't want to miss it.
My mom wouldn't like it.
So go tell her. Maddie, come on, it'll be so much fun. Come on.
Fine. Lipstick, check. Sweater, check. Cute sweater, check. Should have worn blue. No, the blue might have been... Well, too late now. Purse, check. Compact, check. Check out these boys. They're so old. Check that thought. Not too old. Jane's dating a senior. He takes her on drives, and she hasn't even finished her grade. I'm gonna look so... Will they know I'm still... I dress like a college girl, brush my hair, check, lipstick, check, my mom's lipstick, check, because I knew she wouldn't check. Am I gonna walk into the party and they'll know I don't belong? God damn it! Should have worn the blue. No, the blue is... Well, the blue might have been... Well, too late now. Gonna walk right in, gonna step right in, gonna march right in. Hello, boys! These boys, they're so smart. They're so cool. They're gonna be something. They're basically men. Should I be? Maybe I shouldn't. My mom said, but everybody else I know, from time to time, especially now, almost summer, and the parties are getting, well, it's all just too good to miss. Should have worn the blue. Should have worn the checked. Should have checked.
Someone will look at me like I'm looking at you one day, and I might cry.
You're alright, it's alright. Never have to talk about, never have to tell that the way that it happened. Can always write the version. Can always right the wrongs. Can always say you were right at home, where you belonged, and who would know? Maybe, if you think about it enough, it will be like you stayed home. People forget things all the time that happen to them, or people they know, or there's just too much happening, and what does it matter that this time it happened to you? You just have to tell yourself the story you want, and then believe it.
Williamswood started admitting women in 1970, but before that, it was all men. So local girls got a lot of attention. The Williams students were not always well-behaved toward girls. The white students, I mean. I never met the black students, but I saw them sometimes, walking on campus together. I won't even go into some of the stories I have. These white boys were being prepared for great lives, for positions of consequence. And that sense of entitlement, of power, they could be callow youths at best. Sometimes they were worse than that. It was exciting to be near that sense of guaranteed future success, if you know what I mean. I remember that it could be exciting. But then when it turned, and it did turn, I had a friend who was wild, at least a year older than me. She invited me to go to a party at a Williams dorm, freshman dorm. I went because we were always sort of up for everything. I was about 15 or 16, and there were all these young men all around me, drinking, laughing, and they were looking at me. I had their attention. My friend immediately disappeared with someone she knew, and I remember the moment in which I realized I was all alone now. I was all alone. And I had their attention. Secrets were a really important part of that time.
In 1887, our student newspaper, the Williams Record, was founded. Published every Wednesday, you'll find it's a great way to stay connected to all the things going on here. My housemate is actually one of the photographers, which is pretty cool.
His associates describe him as a man who is cool under pressure. Sporting a crew cut in these days of long hairstyles, this man was named Provost just last year, graduating cum laude from Williams, where he was a top wrestler and a member of Phi Beta Kappa and Gargoyle. He received his MA in 1962 and his PhD in 1963 from Stanford University. Married with 3 children, he is the author of one book and the co-author of another. Named official spokesman by the college president for these negotiations, Stephen really can't believe this is happening, Lewis Jr. Hailing from New York City, New York, a young-looking 20 and a junior minister in an East Harlem church. This is a man who is articulate in the extreme. Direct, efficient, and utterly sincere. A Dean's List political science major. He has no definite plans after graduation except to return to the black community. He was named chairman of the Afro-American Society last fall and embarked on a 2-part program to further unify and strengthen the group in the wake of King's murder and to bring about qualitative change on this campus. A husband and an expectant father. Preston, reap what you motherfucking sow, Washington!
So, Preston, I'd like to begin by saying Williams is committed to taking the necessary action that will make the experience of the black student here as educationally rewarding as possible. However, there are some serious problems in your demands, and a complete response by your deadline is impossible. A college cannot operate on the basis of confrontation or deadlined ultimata. And if I can say, between you and me, No small college can be or do everything. But, at this time, we can give an affirmative or favorable reply to about 12 or 13 items.
12 or 13?
But in regards...
12 or 13?
But in regards to the segregated housing for black students, we cannot allow that.
I see.
In regards to giving you...
So when the government segregates us?
And in regards to giving you control over the appointing of faculty and admin personnel in the Afro-American Studies program, we cannot allow that.
Well, we cannot allow you to believe that any one of our demands is more or less important than the other.
Preston, we fully recognize the special problems and pressures facing the black student at a predominantly white college.
With all due respect, Provost Lewis, if you really believe that, there's no way on God's green earth Williams wouldn't have already rushed to meet all 15 of our very clear and concise demands. If you truly recognize, as you say, the special problems and pressures facing the Afro-American student in a white monoculture environment, then this meeting wouldn't be nothing more than a formality on its way to a handshake.
Monocultural? I appreciate and understand your passion.
Many of us are unhappy. We feel isolated, alienated, and lost in a white world which has no meaning for us.
I understand.
These demands are based on the very real premise that Williams displays an institutional racism, albeit unintentional and unconscious, but present nonetheless.
I understand.
Both blacks and whites are dehumanized because both have come to think that blacks have no culture and no history.
I understand. I do. This institution is merely looking for some clarity on a select few items from your list. We have every intention to meet your 15 requests, but several clarifications that we feel are in both our interests are needed.
And we would be more than happy to discuss and enlighten and clarify. But we are losing trust that this has the priority that you say. We feel it is in the best interest for a commitment to the 15 demands, and the specifics will be made clear as we go along.
Preston, I am here. Right now, you have my full attention. Your concerns are of the highest priority. We, as the administration, support you, and I, as a Williams alum, support you.
Lay it on me.
Free socks.
There were bells on a hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all, till there was you. There were birds.
The Williams yearbook, called the Galileo Mention, we just call it the Ghoul, dates back to the mid-19th century. If I'm not mistaken, the first issue was published in 1856.
13. A black man is to be hired in the admissions department, and only after the Afro-American Society's approval. He will act as a liaison and counselor to the society. 12. The establishment of an Afro-American Cultural Center whose purpose it would be to promote a more congenial atmosphere for scholarly and social endeavors among black students. The center is to contain residential facilities for black students desirous of living there, with an eye towards future expansion and accommodation. This center would greater centralize activity pertaining to Afro-American affairs, lectures, exhibits, quarters for guests, and would put in literal stone the presence and importance of another of the many perspectives that make up the Williams experience.
I'm going
R-E-S-P-E-C-T, find out what it means to me. R-E-S-P-E-C-T, take F-T-C-B. Sock it to me, sock it to me, sock it to me, literary say. Sock it to me, sock it to me, sock it to me, woo! Yeah, little bit, literary say. Just a little bit, I get tired. Just a little bit, keep on trying. Just a little bit, you're running out of food. Little bit, I ain't lying. Just a little bit, please don't leave me alone. 'Cause baby, there ain't free song. Some folks know about it, some don't. Some will learn to shout it, some won't. But sooner or later, baby, here's a ditty. Say you're gonna have to get right down to the real nitty-gritty. Let's get right down to the real nitty-gritty now. 1, 2, nitty-gritty now, yeah, boom. Nitty-gritty, ooh-wee. I'm gonna add a little guitar and make it easy to move your feet.
Add some bottom so that the dancer just won't hide.
From the WCCO Radio News Bulletin, this bulletin just in, Dr. Martin Luther King was shot outside a Memphis hotel this afternoon. His condition was not immediately known. Once again, Dr. Martin Luther King was shot outside a Memphis hotel this afternoon. His condition was not immediately known. Stay tuned to WCCO Radio.
We know how to have fun here at Williams. An all-night, 8-hour trivia contest happens at the end of every semester. Teams of students, alumni, professors, friends, and others compete to answer questions on a variety of subjects while trying to identify songs and performing designated tasks. It's hard to explain, so you'll just have to come play.
1. Black students are guaranteed admittance into courses of the Afro-American Area Studies program. 2. Expansion of said studies program into departments such as art, music, psychology, and religion. 3. The creation of a student-faculty committee whose purpose it will be to determine the feasibility of establishing permanent ties between Williams and institutions relevant to the Black area studies, i.e., urban universities and community organizations.
For the record, I'm not saying we should or shouldn't do it.
I'm saying we should do it.
I just want to make sure if we do it together. I'm graduating next month, and if I'm throwing it all away, I at least want to feel proud that I was a part of something bigger. I'll swallow it better.
I think maybe we should just cool it.
Nigga, cool it?
Yeah.
Are you crazy? We just drop it all and go back to the way it's been?
What? No, I'm not saying we should drop the demands or anything.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying we should cool it on this takeover occupation idea.
Oh, what else you got?
Well, nothing really.
Oh, you're killing me.
We always knew it might come to something like this. Hell, the administration probably knows, and they've only got themselves to blame.
Look, I'm proud of being black, and I want to be proud of being at Williams, but I also want to graduate. If we do this, we could get expelled. Williams was the only college I got accepted into. If they expel me, what then? My mother wanted something better for me, man. Something better than somebody's driver or cook, you dig? I'm all for getting what we want, but we don't have to take over a building or tie up a dean to do it.
Tie up the dean? Ain't nobody...
That's a good idea.
This is my first year here, and I don't have no intention of alienating people or making people angry.
They don't think we're serious. If we back down now, either we don't take ourselves very seriously, or we're not concerned with the problems of our race and our society, or we simply aren't in a hurry. Williams needs to start playing a part in the racial revolution sweeping this country. We tried to do the passive thing with these letters and meetings, and you see where it got us. 12 of 15 demands. What part of non-negotiable don't they understand? Other groups think that we don't have that many principles, that there's nothing that we want that we think is worth fighting for. We can always go over in Vietnam and kill somebody damn near look like us, but we never, have banned our resources and our dreams to actually get something constructive. We're always fighting someone else's wars, fighting for someone else's ideals. We never really want to fight for ourselves. Our demands benefit them, not just us, but the white student body. People move when they're under pressure, be it by dogs or hoses or...
Say no more. See, that's what I'm talking about.
What's my mama gonna say?
That she's proud of you.
United we stand. Divided can kiss my ass.
All for one, one for all that shit.
It is the long history of humankind and animal kind too, that those who learn to collaborate and improvise most effectively beyond their wildest dreams have prevailed in the cosmos.
Huh?
I'm in.
Our mascot, Ophelia, is the beloved purple cow you might have seen on my sleeve. I wish I could tell you a great story of some alternative Paul Bunyan, blue ox, purple cow connection, but sadly the origins of Ophelia are unknown.
9. Heads of regional Afro-American societies are to assemble here to deal with the pragmatic problems of black students on white campuses in New England. Workshops, discussions, lectures, and cultural events will take place, and the Afro-American Society is willing to share costs proportionately with the college. 4. Academic and financial considerations are to be made for a rotational instructorship in the Afro-American Studies program. These instructors may or may not have college degrees and may remain on campus as long as time and necessity permit.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
We find ourselves in a great rush. If Jesse Owens could. We started 1 year ago. Immediately after the assassination of Reverend Martin Luther King, we started discussions with Williams College. At that time, our goals were simple. More books, more manuscripts, more black students, a black dean, and a black chair. This year, we saw that the issue was more basic than we had realized. Black students were brought here and pushed through a white monocultural environment. Some say progress is being made. We say feet are dragging slow. Six days before the start of spring. So on March 12th, the Afro-American Society, now 38 strong, presented to the administration a set of 15 non-negotiable demands, letting them know we needed a response by April 4th, or the anniversary of the assassination of Dr. King. These demands are aimed at making both blacks and whites conscious of a black identity, because being at Williams is like being in a social laboratory. It's like being under a microscope. It feels like we were brought here to give middle-class white students a look at the other side of life, but to the detriment of our own education. Maybe I'm paranoid, but that's the way it comes through. Coming to Williams was like coming to a foreign country. Ugh. A lot of us came from an all-black urban environment, and now we find ourselves in an all-white rural society which is totally alien to us. So when we say Williams or any other college is a racist institution, we are referring to the classical liberal approach that says, treat us as though we are white. And so... Hello? Mother, hi. I did get the fountain pen. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I didn't call. I'm doing... okay. Another year, you know. I'm sure. You don't need to worry. Maria's doing good.
Hi, Mom.
Yes, he's kicking. Thinking Elijah or Rashid or...
Jamel.
Or Jamel. Well, Mother, I'll let you go. I've got some work I need to get back to. I love you too. We are left with two choices. Either leave, stay and struggle.
Or stay and struggle. Frankly, we don't know what we're going to do right now. But watch what happens to us. Because the same thing might happen to you when you try to seek to change the structure. We are in a great rush. We will continue to push and tug until you get up and run the 100-yard dash with us. We have learned to work as a fist, together. We are a family. And we mean to get everything we want and demand.
Free socks.
Home to the oldest existing alumni society of any academic institution in these United States, the Society of Alumni of Williams College was founded in 1821. Financial times were rough in the early years, and so Williams graduates formed the society and raised funds to ensure their beloved college would survive.
5. Provisions are to be made for a coordinator of the Afro-American Studies program acceptable to the Williams Afro-American Society and the administration. 6. 2 representatives of the Williams Afro-American Society and said program coordinator are to form the core of a committee that is to function in an advisory capacity in the studies program. This committee will be open to all participants in the program. 7. Like formal college departments, the Afro-American Studies program is to have independent financial holdings to facilitate sponsorship or events outside the normal curricular demands.
An Allied force of more than 8,000 men today tightened its hold on the Batangan Peninsula on South Vietnam's central coast, trapping an undetermined number of North Vietnamese and Viet Cong troops in tunnel and bunker systems. Yesterday, the Allies killed 23 of the enemy and captured 136. In the Mekong Delta, the Saigon government
Any
and the
plans
Viet
this
Cong
weekend?
continued their struggle
Nah.
for the allegiance
You?
of the people.
I might go
Here is
fishing.
a report on that struggle, some of it shown in
Take the
captured
boys
Viet
fishing.
Cong film from NBC News correspondent Bob Jones.
Half the time I go fishing, I end up picking somebody's trash out the lake. You're going to the wrong lakes. Makes me sad. All the trash in the lake. People litter. hate that. I pick up trash during the week. Don't need to do it when I'm fishing.
The things these kids get rid of.
I know.
End of the year, you should see.
I know.
When you've been here as long as me, you'll really know.
Huh?
I saw a couch once. Out by the dumpsters. Brand new couch.
I saw a pool table.
I saw a car.
No, you didn't.
Kid giving away his car.
No, he wasn't.
Well, Daddy got him a new one for graduation.
Bullshit.
He's just that rich.
No way.
My brother's kid was going to college.
Oh, yeah?
First in the family.
Where'd he go?
Vietnam.
For college?
They got him before he could go to college.
Oh.
I said, what's he doing over there? Shooting at other people's boys.
I guess it's a war.
My brother didn't like it too much when I said that.
I guess a war is a war.
These kids, they study Latin and Greek. My nephew, guess he's studying war.
Huh.
I said, what's he doing shooting at other boys?
You maybe shouldn't have said that.
I always did ask too many questions.
Me? I try not to ask any.
How's that working for you?
Okay so far.
Good evening.
What can I do for you?
We're taking over the building.
Well, I wish you luck.
Currently, construction is underway for a new multi-purpose athletic facility that'll include a climbing wall, an indoor track, and some tennis courts. I've never climbed before, but very much looking forward to trying it out myself.
14. The Afro-American Society is to participate in an advisory capacity in the admissions process of black students. 15. The addition of at least 3 African students on scholarship per year with special sensitivity towards students from the Southern Sudan.
'Dear God, let some word that is heard be yours. What do you do when you're angry? That is the question on my mind and of this time. What do you do when you're angry? Maybe you use money to mask your feelings. You call upon the power of that almighty dollar to take your mind away from that anger. I know you often get angry, yes. When you get hungry and when you get tired of waiting, that anger rears its head. You know, church, I remember when my daughter wasn't nothing but a little bitty infant. Of course, she ain't but 6 now, but when she was teething and her gums were so very, very sore and not knowing what to do with all that pain, she would cry and cry and cry. And then she would get to biting on any and everything hard. She would just grit down and bite and tear violently so because it seemed to be the only thing that would ease her pain. And I wished, as her mother, I could have told her and she would have understood that even though it hurts, baby, it's gonna be all right. And we need those teeth for chewing our food and well, they're very helpful for talking and things of that sort. But as we get older, church, we learn that we can't go around biting and tearing when we find ourselves angry and in pain. Now, stay with me, church. And as Black people, we get so afraid that someone's gonna take us away or snatch us or just take us away and push us away if we let that anger out of the cage. And it's a very scary and lonely and alienating feeling to think that you might hurt somebody. And so you ask the Lord, and you ask yourself, and you ask anyone that is willing to listen, what do I do with this mad that I feel?
What do you do when you're angry? What do you do with the mad that you feel when you feel so mad you could bite? When the whole wide world seems oh so wrong and nothing you do seems very right. What do? Do you punch a bag? Do you pound some clay or some dough? Do you round up friends for a game of tag and see how fast you go? Yeah, it's great to be able to stop when you've planned a thing that's wrong and be able to do something else instead and think this song. Right, I can stop when I want to, can stop when I wish, can stop anytime. And what a good feeling to feel like this and know that the feeling is really mine. Know that there's something deep inside that helps us become what we can. For a girl can be someday a lady and a boy can be...
This building to my left, or your right, is Hopkins Hall, home to our administrative offices, built in 1897 and based on the Romanesque style of H.H. Richardson. It was built as a memorial to Mark Hopkins, our 4th president, and also an 1824 graduate of...
11. Supplemental funds to pay for participation of society members in conferences outside of Williams, i.e. the Oberlin Conference. 8. There is to be a relaxation of car rules for Black students. 10. There is to be college sponsorship of group social activities, i.e. mixers, for Black students on campus, and a continuous financial source is to be guaranteed to provide transportation and entertainment.
I just can't believe. I never would have believed something like this here all weekend. And look, for crackers. You know, I've heard that's what they call us. The nerve. Can you imagine? Right here. Our desks, our chairs, our drawers might have left it something personal or money in mine. Try to keep it clean, but you have these. You have this kind of. You have this sort of. Really don't know what it's all coming to, but do we have to? Am I supposed to when I go home, when I go to bed, when I get up? What kind of a world? Surrounded by boys. Men. Rough. Scruff. Gruff. All weekend long doing God knows what. in my space. My desk. My chair. My everywhere. And calling me. I need an aspirin and a Coca-Cola.
Money for crackers.
To those concerned, thank you for the use of your desk. Nothing was disturbed or tampered with. Thank you. The Afro-American Society.
I saw it written and I saw it say, the Bingo Moon is on its way. None of you stand so tall. The Bingo Moon gonna get you all. It's a Bingo Moon. There's a Bingo Moon. Bing, 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 bing. Bingo Moon.
We mopped, miss.
Thank you.
Bing, 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 bing.
I just can't believe. I never would have believed something like this. Here. All weekend. And look. This is how it happens.
Saw it written and I saw it say,
This is how change happens.
the Bingo Moon
Messy.
is on its way.
Sometimes
It's a Bingo Moon.
really messy. Then you mop.
Hello? Provost Lewis? It's Preston. We've gone over your amendments of our amendments.
Oh, Preston, that's wonderful to hear. And?
We're ready to leave the building, but we want to straighten up a bit.
Oh, you don't have...
It should only take us about 2 hours.
Hello? Hello?
Would it be possible for us to borrow a campus van to move our belongings from here back to Mears' house? Hello?
Sure thing, Preston. Hello, my name is Stephen Lewis Jr., the provost of Williams College. Looks like the rain stopped. As the official spokesperson for these negotiations, I have been asked to give remarks. A number of extremely unfortunate misunderstandings led to the direct action taken during the last few days by the Afro-American Society. Indeed, the whole package of proposals, as now clarified, would have found a positive response within the Williams community without recourse to such action. We regret that the Afro-American Society felt the need to confront the college with non-negotiable demands and the occupation of this building.
Regret? Man, we regret we didn't do this sooner. Talking about we didn't need to take the building, you would have come to a positive response. Lies.
We've been in agreement from the beginning with the major objectives of the Afro-American Society's demands. I sincerely regret that earlier communication to the Society failed to convey, point by point, the full extent of our commitment to improving the quality of life for the Afro-American students at Williams.
You really want to improve our quality of life? Let some sisters enroll. Cat's gotta drive 50 miles just to get a kiss.
It is important that students, faculty, alumni, trustees, and friends recognize that neither the college nor the Afro-American Society has compromised any basic principle in reaching our agreement. With the reopening of Hopkins Hall, We are now ready to work with the Society in implementing specific proposals and in discussing the other issues of concern which undoubtedly lie ahead.
You funky motherfuckers are fortunate we were honestly trying to improve this institution and not tear it the fuck down.
And it's my great privilege to introduce to you Preston R. Washington, class of 70, chairman of the Afro-American Society here at Williams. Mr. Washington?
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. The Williams Afro-American Society has gotten its essential demands. These demands have not been met because of compromise or capitulation on either side. The problem here was not a question of conflicting values, but centered around a great misunderstanding of our demands. We too agree that this misunderstanding was regrettable in light of past discussions and dialogue.
I'm still not sure how we got here. I came back from vacation to a bunch of demands and the president telling me to handle it. I thought we were working things out. Suddenly there's an occupation? I should have stayed on vacation.
Our demands were met because they were never alien to the college's fundamental philosophy or capacities. This is important to understand. Clarification and education played the most important role.
I graduated just about 10 years ago, and I'm supposed to negotiate a political occupation? You know, that's nuts.
It is important that a failure in communication should never occur again. Thank you.
When people look back at this, they're going to think I was the institution. That I spoke to you as the institution. I did. But underneath that, we did something. You and me. We really somehow did something. That mattered. That matters. I don't know if anybody thought that was going to happen. I don't know if I thought that was going to happen.
For 4 days this past April, students, faculty, everybody at Williams went through a period of interesting self-inspection. 4 a.m. Saturday morning, the Afro-American Society began their peaceful occupation. At 1 a.m. Monday morning, they left. The next 2 days, most of our classes were suspended, conversations continued. Nothing But a Man, a movie I hadn't heard of, was made available to watch. A lot can happen in 4 days.
This is how I remember it happening. It's easier to remember scary things as funny. And when we told the story later, we talked about how the white Williams students didn't let the mob cross the street, not the part where they wanted to. We don't talk about how much that mob wanted to. There were 10 or 15 people. They had a cross, and they came to burn it on the campus. They heard that black students had occupied Hopkins Hall, and they wanted to make a point. I don't know who all was there. I remember it as a blur, and the rain starting to fall, making it even more of a blur. But sometimes I wonder if I blurred the faces on purpose. I grew up here in this town. Were there people in that mob whose kids I went to school with? People whose stores I shopped at and who smiled at me on the street and said hello? There must have been, right? There must have been. It's easier to remember a blur. I'd rather remember it as funny.
All in all, a pretty rocky year for Williams College. For everyone, I suppose. But fall semester's right around the corner. Hard to believe some of you ladies might even be here on campus with us. It'll be new. Well, that's the official end of our campus tour. Thank you for staying engaged and staying together. No one has landed on the moon yet, so you're still making good time. I'll walk you back.
A rat done bit my sister Nell with Whitey on the moon. Her face and arms began to swell, and Whitey's on the moon. I can't pay no doctor bills, but Whitey's on the moon. 10 years from now, I'll be paying still while Whitey's on the moon. You know, the man just upped my rent last night, cause Whitey's on the moon. No hot water, no toilets, no lights, but Whitey's on the moon. I wonder why he's upping me, cause Whitey's on the moon? Well, I was already giving him $50 a week, and now Whitey's on the moon. Taxes taking my whole damn check. The junkies make me a nervous wreck. The price of food is going up, and as if all that crap wasn't enough, a rat done bit my sister Nell with Whitey on the moon. Her face and arms began to swell, and Whitey's on the moon. Was all that money I made last year for Whitey on the moon? How come I ain't got no money here? Whitey's on the moon. You know, I just about had my fill of Whitey on the moon. I think I'll send these doctor bills, air mail special. To Whitey on the moon.
Thank you. What a stunning rendition of one of my favorite songs. Never gets old. And now, I would like to introduce you to our final commencement speaker, a man who needs no introduction to his peers or to anyone here at Williams. The former president of the Afro-American Society, Preston R. Washington.
Thank you, President Sawyer. What an eventful 4 years it's been, to say the least. Last year in particular, of course. My fellow graduates, faculty, staff, members of the community of Williamstown, and esteemed guests, I am humbled and honored to have been chosen by my peers to speak today. I'm surprised you aren't tired of my voice ringing in your ears by now. I've elected to compose my speech today in the form of an open letter to my 8-month-old son, Jamel Tahir Washington. My son, I love your beginnings. We were begot, you and I, in African savanna, engulfed in the ebullient green foliage that burst into splendid blue, purple, yellow, orange delight. Then you were a warrior princess, enshrined in your majestic golden splendor. Up above you, in your sky, the condors stretched their massive